Hi everyone, I'm Kat. I'm a second year CDD in health data science. But my research is mainly on metabolic health, and I sit in this interdisciplinary somewhere in microbes and AI and pop health at the same time. And today, I wanted to make it a little chill and not to go over my topic per se, but talk about the metabolic effect of Reuben college lunches and do a quick little dive into gut microbiome. So, a very short introduction of what gut microbiome is. Your body hosts trillions of microorganisms, and this amount is actually comparable with the amount of human cells that you have in your body. So, just imagine the amount of microorganisms that you carry with you every day. Most microbes live in the large intestine, in the colon, and this community is called gut microbiome. So every time I relate to that, imagine this little picture. And there is a big, large body of research that shows that gut microbiome supports digestion, shapes immune function, and even participate in gut-brain signaling, which affects how you feel. Overall, the gut microbiome field is very much emerging, especially in the population health. So most of the research is actually done on a very small amount of participants, and it's more wet lab based. What I am trying to do there is to use the population level data that I have access to and use some ML and LLMs to analyze how gut microbiome link with the metabolic health. What I want to present today is more what we know about microbiome and what you can do to promote its health on an everyday basis. Um, as I mentioned, there's not much research done on that in terms of the large effects, and it's surely not causal yet. So we can't really say, oh, this causes this. It's mainly done in mice, and this is what we'll have a few about. So a few examples of fascinating studies done about gut microbiome. The first, and I think the most famous one, is on obesity. So in this research, basically they had the obese mouse, then did the fecal transplantation, so transplanted the gut microbiome from fishes from the obese mouse into the lean mouse. And even though it has the same dietary plan as it used to have, the mouse with transplantation became obese. This is a real mouse. The next example is big, again, large amount of studies talking about digestion effects. And in this review, they took patients with complex carbs indigestions and irritable bowel syndromes, and then transplanted the healthy microbiome from fishes of healthy people. And this made possible for these patients to successfully digest carbs, including starches, which are pretty hard to digest in human body. And another fascinating example is about anxiety and depression and how gut microbiome reflects that. And in this study, they took the samples of gut microbiome from patients diagnosed with anxiety and depression, transplanted it to sterile mice, and imagine what happened. Depressed mice. We all can relate. And even though, again, microbiome is a very experimental and wet lab area right now, we have some evidence that it is related, it is linked and associated with Alzheimer's and dementias, diabetes, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, anxiety, and there is a growing body of research talking about immune function. So what I want you to think about is what you can do for your gut microbiome if that's so important in your health. So next time you grab a Reuben lunch, what I suggest you do it. Add veggies and high in fiber grains. We know that high fiber promotes gut health and diversity. And we are very lucky in Reuben to have not only the mains, but also salad section, which has a lot of legumes, for example, which is very high in fiber. Examples of this is brown rice, whole wheat, again, lots of legumes and seeds and nuts. And then there are some products that are considered healthy but actually low in fiber. It's white rice, plain pasta, couscous, which is not even a grain. I didn't know that before studying. Um, the other thing is fermented foods, and we do have it in Reuben as well. Kimchi, cheese, yogurt, and kefir are good examples of fermented foods that can contribute to introducing some diversity in your microbiome and make it less hostile than some aggressive probiotics, so that they can actually adapt and live in your gut healthily and happily. And the third big thing is avoid sugars and ultra processed foods. And you heard that so many times for sure. I know that. But like, if we have one evident thing, and I keep saying this in my data, that really harms your microbiome, it is sugar and ultra processed foods. A little thing about ultra processed foods that I'm very passionate about, and can do a whole different presentation about this. So every food can be divided roughly into three categories: minimally processed or whole foods, processed and ultra processed. So if you take a whole wheat, which is example of minimally processed product, and then eat a whole wheat pasta, for example, not plain whole wheat, it will be processed, of course, but it still has the fibers from the whole wheat. And if you take it on the next level and add the industry level additives that you can't find in the kitchen, it is ultra processed foods, and it is very much linked to your gut microbiome health. So next time you think about grabbing a lunch in your favorite college, please think about your gut health, because it is very important for all the metabolic processes in your body. Thank you so much.